This excerpt is the standard for differentiating between proper and deviated. Master Huineng said, originally, there was nothing at all. He was talking about the true mind, because there is nothing in the true mind. Greed, anger, ignorance, and arrogance are the false mind. Because these illusory things are there, even though we have the true mind, it is unable to function. When we eradicate greed, anger, ignorance, and arrogance, our minds will become pure. Even when forms, sounds, smells, tastes, textures, and mind objects from the external environment try to tempt us, we will not have any thoughts of greed, anger, ignorance, or arrogance. The major sutras say, all beings are Buddhas in nature. So why have we become the way we are? The Avatamsaka Sutra puts it aptly. It is because of wandering thoughts and attachments. Wandering thoughts are ignorance. Attachments turn into greed and anger. These are the root problems of sentient beings. Excerpt 16. He planted numerous roots of virtue and did not mind his varied sufferings. He had few desires and was content. He pursued only white dharmas and brought benefits to all beings. He was tireless in pursuing his aspirations and vows, achieving results through the power of patience. He constantly harbored compassion and patience for all sentient beings. With a kind expression and caring words, he advised, taught, urged, and encouraged them. He was respectful to the three jewels and attended to his teachers without any insincerity or flattery in his heart. All of his conduct was magnificent, and he was a role model in every way. He regarded all dharmas as illusory and remained in the samadhi that is eternally quiescent. He guarded well his verbal karmas and did not ridicule others' faults. He guarded well his bodily karmas and did not transgress any precept or codes of behavior. He guarded well his mental karmas and kept himself pure and uncontaminated. The words planted numerous roots of virtue mean to accumulate merits and virtues. Roots are the foundation. They can give rise to myriad virtues. That which can give rise to something is the root. The root of virtue for the Pure Land School is this phrase, homage to Amitabha Buddha. When one focuses on and practices only the Pure Land method, one continuously and mindfully chants the Buddha name. This method will help us to keep our minds in an unperturbed and tranquil state from within, where no affliction arises, and not be attached to any phenomena from without. Actually, all of the 84,000 Dharma doors aim to achieve this state. Of all the methods, the Buddha name chanting method is the most convenient and the easiest in which to succeed. When one mindfully chants the Buddha name, one's cultivation will be enhanced by the supportive powers of Amitabha Buddha and all other Buddhas in the 10 directions. This is why all the other methods cannot compare with this one. The words did not mind his varied sufferings mean that Dharmakara did not mind any of the sufferings he underwent. He accepted them peacefully. Sufferings are brought about by the evil deeds committed in the present and past lifetimes. When we understand the cause of the sufferings, we will willingly undergo them and not blame others. How should we live our lives? We should let go of any situation or condition, whether favorable or adverse, and just concentrate on chanting the Buddha name. Dharmakara had few desires and was content. When one has few desires and is content, one's afflictions will be reduced. Every day, it is enough for one to have a full stomach, adequate clothing, and a place to shield one from wind and rain. A content person is often happy. When one is content, one will want few things. The less one wants, the more at ease and the happier one is. If one truly does not compete with others or crave anything, one will be happier than a celestial being. When one has meditative concentration, one will keep the mind in an unperturbed and tranquil state from within and not be attached to any phenomena from without. Every aspect in one's life should be simple. Simplicity leads to a long life. The ancient Chinese often said, "Illness enters through the mouth." Nowadays, many people contract strange illnesses, which come mostly from the food consumed. In the past in China, there were people in the countryside who maintained a simple diet, but they were healthy and lived a long life. This proves that the simpler the food, the healthier one is. A pure mind with no wandering thoughts, a regular routine, a simple diet, few desires, and contentment, these are the essentials for good health. He pursued only white dharmas. Black signifies bad, and white signifies good. Ancient Indians used black and white, and the Chinese used bad and good. Pursuing only white dharmas means pursuing only wholesome dharmas, that is, single-mindedly seeking goodness. What are wholesome dharmas? And what are unwholesome dharmas? The Buddha said that anything that benefits oneself is unwholesome, and that anything that benefits all beings is wholesome. Why is benefiting oneself bad? One transmigrates within the 3 realms and the 6 paths because of ego attachment. In other words, when one's every thought is of oneself and for oneself, then one will transmigrate within the 6 paths. Arhats transcend the 6 paths by eradicating ego attachment. When ego attachment is eradicated, there is no more transmigration. When dharma's attachment is eradicated, the 10 dharma realms no longer exist. At this point, one has enlightened the mind and seen the true nature. Dharma's attachment is hindrance arising from the attachment to our knowledge. Ego attachment is hindrance arising from our afflictions. When one has ego attachment, one has affliction. When one has dharma's attachment, one has ignorance. Therefore, when one eradicates ego attachment, one transcends the cycle of birth and death. If our every thought is of ourselves, ego attachment will worsen day by day. How then can we transcend the 3 realms? This is why the Buddha taught us to always think of benefiting all beings. This way, the thoughts of benefiting ourselves will gradually diminish and go away. Our every thought and every deed should be for all beings, not for ourselves. When all beings have good fortune, we too have good fortune, because we are also one of the beings. Similarly, we cannot avoid misfortune if all beings have misfortune. Having all beings in one's every thought and wholeheartedly helping them is pursuing only white dharmas. It is also bringing benefits to all beings. Bringing means giving. Benefiting living beings is sacrificing oneself to benefit others.